Wait.
Oh, what? Oh, I pressed play. You're
Okay.
so right, bestie. I'm Boomer. Okay.
Okay.
Now it's going.
So now officially going. Sit down.
Oh, this one's going too.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Get placed and ready.
Get placed.
Are you
and
good?
ready. Yeah. Oh my God! Look at our little.
I know, it's really cute. Wait.
It's actually pretty cute.
Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to the
Hello.
inaugural episode of the SLAYHOUSE review. I'm Marco.
I'm Devin.
And if you're tuning in on YouTube, which I can imagine is the only place you will be tuning in, at least for a little while, you know me, this is my YouTube channel, but I'm co-opting it to launch a podcast of sorts with my hag here, Devin.
Hello.
And so every week, we're just going to review whatever short fiction story the New Yorker has published.
Exactly.
Give our thoughts, break it down, use it to launch a greater discussion in whatever slayful, topic that we can dream up.
Exactly.
We're sitting here with our mixed drinks. This is just gin, grenadine, and fizzy water and some bottled lemon juice.
Cheers.
Yeah, to our first episode.
Episode.
So we hope to have an incredible slayful time, an incredible slayful literary journey, if you will.
Exactly. And we're gonna bring some of that MFA perspective.
That
MFA.
coveted MFA perspective
right.
that most people really cannot help but want to hear.
Right.
Everyone so into that, to hear the ramblings of an MFA fiction student.
Yeah.
So slight.
Our ramblings.
Anyways, let's not beat around the bush. I want to kind of aim for 45 minutes here.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get into it. Let me pull up
7:04. Okay, so this week we are going to be reviewing and breaking down the story from March 18th, 2024, entitled Neighbors by a man named Zach Williams. So what do you want to do? Do you want to go into opinions? Do you want to just do a little breakdown of what the story is?
Synopsis? And
yeah,
we have not discussed this.
I know, so fresh. Yeah. And just take it from...
Yeah, let's maybe recap and then take us into the story.
So we start out, it begins, and it's some man recounting how his marriage is on the verge of failing. He's been cucked by his wife. They have twins, and they're gonna move somewhere.
They're gonna go to San Francisco.
Yeah. And immediately I was like, okay, let's, an affair story. It seems New Yorker pilled, but stuff to dig into.
Right.
And so we go from San Francisco to where?
Well, they move from somewhere
to San Francisco. Oh, yeah. And they go into their house and they're talking about their beautiful neighbors. And but they do talk about how she had his wife had a workplace affair with some man who was really desperate, and he felt scared and sorry to talk. Oh no, he felt sorry for his wife.
Yeah,
this narrator, man was super.
Yeah, pitied her.
Yeah.
He wasn't mad that she was cheating on him. It was oh, I feel so bad for her.
Oh my God, our marriage is so bad. Let's.
And because the guy was was it that the guy
he was obsessive or
getting
something.
around the paywall. So
yeah, slay, navigate as you.
Of course, my internet
have to.
It knows. I'm trying to.
We're trying to record a podcast. Just want to sabotage us as much as possible, which is what we're very used to. Yeah.
Try to do it there. Oh, here it is. Oh no! It really blocked my. Attempts. Okay, well, I'm gonna get it on here. But anyway, but then, I actually at first I was okay, but is this just gonna be so domestically New York or New Yorker pilled that it's gonna be about this marriage and nothing's really gonna happen, and it's
it's just about big emotions, big sort of streaming domestic movie emotions, MFA pilled. But then immediately also it's I forgot I was reading a New Yorker story and I was waiting for sex stuff to happen.
Yeah.
And mind you, I haven't read the New Yorker.
Never paid for a subscription.
Never paid for a I'll open a story here and there when I'm feeling particularly ambitious about my own prospects. I'm reading the New Yorker fiction every week.
Right.
And so I'm well, do they do hardcore sex in the New Yorker?
I feel it's uncouth for these retired women who used to be lawyers and stuff who sit around and read it. Yeah, I don't know.
But as the story kept going on, I was waiting. I kept coming up with ways in my head that this could devolve into some sort of smut break-in fantasy.
Yeah.
And I was really, we'll get more into it as it goes on, but I was the gears are really spinning in my head where I was really creating this into a very promising story that like didn't happen for me in my reading experience. But I mean, I did end up liking the story. I mean, we'll get there.
Right.
We'll get there. We'll get
We
there.
will get
But
there.
anyways, so they're like, you know, in San Francisco
Okay,
in
it
this like
worked.
lovely
Ah!
house. He got cucked by his wife, but like everything's fine again now that they moved. And then we
The
are
neighbor's son.
yes, and this
So-
is what I was talking about. So we meet some neighbors, whatever. It's like
Right.
one couple, whatever. They're not important. But then he has one neighbor who's like an old lady, an
She's
old
old.
Asian lady.
Old lady, she's got a walker. She lives alone, like either next door.
And it was funny. The old lady's name is Bing.
Bing.
And when I was thinking this, I was like, oh, it's an old black woman, and this is like her nickname, like her jive talking nickname. and when
Yeah.
it was revealed that it was like an old Asian woman, at least, well, how is it revealed that it's an old Asian woman?
We'll get a short line.
Like, it's a
in
one
which she
sentence.
speaks Chinese. She answers
Something in Chinese.
Which is really the only indication
But
throughout.
then, and so we find out that she's Asian, and then we meet one day the old Asian lady's son,
Yeah.
who's there to like take care of her, but he lives in Tahoe because he's like a rock climber or something.
Yeah, he lives like in Nevada, like around
Yeah.
Tahoe, and it's like
And and again, I'm reading this already in my head, like, okay, there's some sort of sex aspect because of the cucking. I mean, like, you know, I
Yeah.
am a gay man, and as stereotypical as I can be at all times in my, you know, homosexual proclivities, I'm always waiting for some sort of blowjob, some sort of penis on penis interaction. And so we're getting these descriptions of this like rugged, like Asian rock climbing man who like takes care of his, and then he's like, oh, and then after he meets the son like gives the narrator his number, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's gonna be a gay reverse cuck situation with this old woman's like debonair bachelor like rock climbing son. And so we get then, and then there's like a whole sequence like after he meets him, like going into his office in the apartment, and his like wife's not in the home.
He works from home, and like no one's ever around.
Yeah, and then he gets a call from, or like a text from the son, and I'm thinking like, oh my god, they're gonna like jerk off. They're gonna like
come down.
They're gonna like, it's gonna be like a nude sexting situation. I was getting really kind of like a little bit aroused at this point by the like possibilities unfolding in my head, and perhaps this is a compliment to what's this guy's name? Zach Williams. Yeah, Zach. If we can, you know, be a little informal.
Yeah, Zach doesn't mind.
Yeah, and so, but we don't get that. It'd be cunt if we did, but we don't. And so basically, in that that sequence of him in his office, they'd been mentioning in the past that like the lady, like her phone is like an old like landline phone with a mechanical ringer thing, so it goes and it's like right against the wall of his, because I guess they share a duplex.
Yeah,
is that what it is?
I think it's like a condo situation, and they share a wall, so it's like the other side of the
and
the
so
building.
He keeps hearing the phone going off, and like it was also mentioned previously that she keeps the TV loud at night, and he hadn't seen her
because he was like normally sort of like mildly tracking her when she would take out the trash and stuff, not in like a necessarily like creepy or like stalkerish way, but in a sort of like, it was woven in so much to the story that it did draw my attention to the fact that it was like, oh, something's gonna happen
like
to
he's
her.
tracking her movement.
He's aware of her, and he wants us to know as an audience that he is aware of her. And then, you know, he's hearing the phone ring, as you were saying. And so then at that point, he like realizes, oh wow, it's been ringing for a long time. Maybe I haven't seen her in a while. Like, not sure where she is, what's going on. He's like, oh shit, her son definitely texted me and is going to ask me to check on her. And
he's kind of having like social anxiety moment. He's like, oh my god, I don't want to find his like
I don't want to deal with
I
this.
want to find my neighbor dead in her house or whatever. How am I going to be the one to do this?
Scary.
What are you thinking at this point? At this point in the story, when you were reading, what was going through your mind?
At that time, I was like, well, she's definitely going to be dead.
Yeah, I mean, easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
At that point, what I was actually kind of wondering about was like, so this is like a, you know, like a first person kind of, like, I was like, maybe this is an unreliable narrator kind of situation, which like inherently I think
exactly. There's all sort of, you know, sort of taboo possibilities going on in the mind, like, you know,
Right.
like, is he gonna kill her? Did he
Exactly.
kill her? Yeah,
Right.
like, things like
Right.
that.
Or like, why does he want me, the reader, to think like, oh, this is what's going down, but maybe he's like trying to trick me? Because
Now,
this
when
seems
the
kind of
when
like,
the old lady was introduced immediately, were you like, oh, she's gonna die? Like, she's dying. Like, she's gonna
no,
die.
I didn't immediately think so until it got to the point where that like when her son came and was like literally lifting her like into the car, then I was
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah,
well.
it's like, you know,
Like,
Chekhov's old lady.
I was
Like, if she's
literally
there,
just gonna say
yeah,
that.
oh,
I was literally gonna say that.
linked.
Chekhov's old ass fucking lady
Yeah, and if
with
there's
a
an
walker.
old alone lady, like, kill her.
Yeah.
Kill her. She has to die.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking, but I was also mildly thinking, you know, like, maybe he's gonna do something really shitty, like, I don't know, like to the sun, like maybe he's gonna just blow it off entirely, or just
Yeah,
gonna be
like she had fallen
I
or
couldn't
something.
deal
Yeah.
with it, so I like just was like whatever, and you know, then went on a vacation to
You know,
Mexico.
all the ominous, like, vague emotions in the New Yorker canon. You know, things, yeah.
Everyone's always taking flights too
Yeah.
in these stories too. I like swear to God, I've read like a couple. Or it's like, and then I was going to Paris for the weekend for a conference, and it's like
The
okay.
vague, sterile detachment. Like, all right, you know.
Okay, we get it. And I'm pleased to say that this subverted my expectations, at least from that
Yeah,
standpoint.
I mean, thank you, Zach. Like, you did good work.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so yeah, so then the son is like, oh, can you like check on her? And he's like, okay, she's gonna die. And we know she's gonna die.
Right.
So he gets into the apartment.
Because the son tells him where the spare key is. So.
Yeah, he like knocks and like nobody answers, yada, 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 this, that, and the third. And he goes in and then he gets into the room and this whole thing is being described very slowly, darkness, you know, sort of an ominous, because, you know, he's going to find a dead body. But then the gag is the title comes into play, The Neighbor.
The Neighbor.
Oh, wait. Sorry, not the title.
Yeah.
But there's a picture included with the story of like, you know, a hooded figure, in like behind the blinds. Photo. And I mean, even looking at this, I mean, you know, on Tumblr, I follow a lot of like smut blogs where they have like an included photo and like some depraved fat gay man like includes their own caption where it's like, the alpha broke into your house and he's telling you it's time for you to get on your knees. You don't know who he is, but you can tell he's like like the photo certainly is, and I have everything in the back of my mind. So I'm like, okay, so to make it clear, he gets to the room and yes, he sees the corpse of his dead neighbor, but in the same room is an intruder. An
intruder who is wearing it's described as a lycra like one piece, like all over. Like
he's wearing a morph suit. Yeah,
he's wearing a morph suit, but it's like the mouth is open. There's like a mouth hole.
Oh, there is.
Yeah, it's like described in very kind of like ominous and almost like unbelievably fantastical terms. A little bit. It's like he can only see this guy's like mouth hole, and the rest is a black lycra.
He can only see the guy's mouth hole. I mean, he's functionally in a gimp morph suit.
I know. Like I did see Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, and the other.
You haven't seen it?
No.
Oh, sure. Sorry to blow you up.
So much cooler and more cultural than me. Yeah.
It's because of the gimp suit, you know. Yeah. Famous.
Okay, Slay. I mean, I believe you. Yeah.
No. But yeah, it's giving Pulp Fiction, Slay, and then he's like acting really weird, which was also when I was like, okay, this guy, I'm suspicious of him.
And then I'm also thinking, like, immediately when we get this, it's like, okay, like, she was murdered by this, like, man, and now he's gonna get framed for it because, like, he's being, like, oh, and so he, like, calls you, it's, like, this whole sequence where he's, like, talking to the man. The man doesn't, like, lunge at him or even, like, say anything. He's just sort of, like, creeping around at a distance. And every time our narrator moves to the pace, the intruder is also, like, moving like, in relation. They're doing,
like,
you know.
circling like, mirroring each other, like, in a weird kind of symbolic way, perhaps. You know, it crosses that threshold into magical realism, actually. Like, let's be honest.
And do you ever, like, when I'm reading these, do you, like, start to, like, spar with yourself? Like, okay, what is the, like, what is the author trying to do?
Yes. There's the, like, metacognitive thing that kicks in where you're like, okay, I'm, like, trying to read this story, but then you're also like, okay, well, how is this guy trying to, like, first of all, because there's this aspect, right? It's like, this guy's in the New Yorker and I'm not.
I know.
So
like,
what is he trying to pull one over on me with this fucking
story?
And
I was just going to say, whenever I'm reading the New Yorker, I feel like I'm in like an intellectual exercise or like pissing contest where I'm like, oh, I see what the fuck you're doing here. Like, you're not pulling one over me. Like, oh yeah, I saw that coming. Yeah, a mile away. Exactly. And so, And then I was also thinking, like, wow, what a like fun cucked response. And so this was another thing that I thought
Right.
was, great. A very like in character for this cuck to react to this like intruder in the space is just sort of like, I'm
Um,
gonna call the cops now to let them know that she's. Oh
do
yeah,
you want to leave?
and he's like, I'm gonna check her pulse, pointing to like the
Right.
corpse, and then like
Right.
it's just like this,
Yeah,
and he's
because
like
it's
creeping around the house. He calls the authorities.
yeah.
He doesn't. They ask if he's the only one there, and he's like, "Yeah, I am the
Yeah, it's
only
totally
one
just
there. It's just
me.
me." And so,
Yeah.
the authorities come, but while they're there, he's like also still trying to track down this intruder.
Right. And they're dancing around the house.
Yes,
Like,
it's a dance.
it's a
Yeah.
dance. But, actually, I think you do raise a good point that it is, like, an incredibly cucked response that he gives, which is, I mean, I do think this is related to the sort of, like, psychological exploration of this piece, is, like, he's so, like, he reacts in a way that makes sense based on, like, who this guy is. Like, the fact that he was, like, dragging his feet to, like, go check on his neighbor, not because it's like a moral thing, not like it's like more like he doesn't want to deal with it. So it makes sense because his like wife cheated on him and he's like can't even cognitively like come to terms with that. He's more like, I don't really want to deal
He's
with
not
it.
pulling one over you, girl.
know?
Zach isn't pulling one over
Zach's
you.
not
You got
pulling one over-
absolutely.
So this, it makes sense that he'd be like, first of all, he's not afraid, which is another thing. I feel like that's another, it's sort of a fawn freeze kind of cuck response. He's like not like, oh, this intruder's gonna kill me. He's just like, hey, is it cool with you if I like check her pulse? Like,
yeah, and then he becomes like, so he tracks the intruder throughout the whole house, and they end up like somehow in like the dark garage. Like there's like, he's like, I found an illegal staircase, and I was like, oh, is this gonna be like a Frogger situation where this guy's been like living here or something?
Right.
And then he's in this pitch black garage against like the old woman's unused car, and he thinks that he's right next to the intruder, and he's like kind of making peace with the fact that like if he dies here, he's like expecting some sort of attack, and he's like, oh, in the darkness of this garage, everything seems boundless and I don't know. I was sort of skimming at this point.
Yeah, I sort of started skimming
because I will admit, I mean, I was a little bit nervous. I was like, oh my god, he's gonna get killed, or oh my god, the cops are gonna like believe he's the murderer. And so I was feeling a little like, compliments to the chef. I was feeling a little bit like some anticipation, so I started skimming a little bit just out of weird secondhand anxiety.
Right. No, I completely get that.
But of course, it's a New Yorker. Nothing happens. Like the cops come in the garage and they like light up the whole thing.
Right.
And he's the only one in the garage. And I'm thinking like, oh, okay, he's gonna like go to jail for murder. But perhaps that's just because I'm like, a bad writer.
Right. No, and I actually think that's like interest. I mean, this story is like supposed to be more about like the psychological aspects of it. But the real question, I feel like, is like, is it that interesting?
Yeah.
Like,
I certainly felt like there was like,
I was interested.
Yeah, exactly. There's like merit to the prose, but like, but I did like kind of the like concluding scene.
Oh, that's true.
Where he's like trying to like tell his wife about it, and he's like really embarrassed, and he's like getting all red, and she's like, I actually don't remember what her response was, but I thought it was funny.
He's sort of like, yeah, I don't really like want to talk about it, and she's like, okay.
Oh, okay.
It's like, I mean, it's like kind of, yeah. Wait, let me go back to that part. Because then they end up moving at the end. Is sort of like, I guess, like this. I mean, it does seem like this experience in whatever form he's like writing about it. He being the narrator is like all he thinks about, like San Francisco, and so he's like, this is. I feel like it's connected to why they move at the end.
Yeah, and then like move at the end, which like I also feel like is such a classic like New Yorker type fiction move, where it's just like, oh, in the end we move.
Right.
And there's like a vague, sort of like a detached, like anxious feeling left over.
We don't even really get her response, actually. Just to go back to your original question about like what happens. It's like in the second to last section, he's like, I felt nervous, ashamed in a way I couldn't quite make sense of. I just felt it was just that what had happened seemed untranslatable to the bright Pacific morning, to the sound of the surf, to Anna or anyone else. She asked what I meant. Who was it? I said I wasn't totally sure. Where in the house? Upstairs in the living room by the window. What did I mean by the window? What was he doing? I felt my neck and ears flush, and one of those mild dissociative clouds passed over me. How strange I thought to be here in California. Yeah, so he's just like, he's like so cucked that he can't even like actually really tell it to her, and then she's just like, oh, okay, he's
which
just being like
I
weird.
thought was like a good beat.
It's a nice touch.
Yeah.
I will say for this story, like if I had my my own world, I feel like something crazier would have happened. But like within this world of the story, I do feel like it ended in a way that made sense. Like I don't think this
absolutely.
story could have like the structure couldn't have handled like, you know, some crazy like, and then I fucked
Yeah,
her
absolutely not. I mean,
son.
like, yeah, it's like a.
But like I wanted it to.
I know.
You know, like I kind of am like always underwhelmed by like really well rendered,
I know. It's
like psychologically
okay.
realist.
Yeah,
like,
it's something you
fiction.
say like, and then
Like,
just like move on with your
really
life. You take
nice.
another hit of your vape and go about your day.
And that's right. And that's like
Yeah.
sort of my overall feeling is like, was this a wonderful like treat to read? Like,
Yeah,
I think so. But is it?
Would you pick up his short story collection that this is being published to promote? Like, I would
consider it.
You'd buy it?
I would consider. Well, certainly if I found it in a free little library, I would read it.
Maybe if it was at the library.
Buying it on thrift books.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think he's a capable, which, I mean, like, you know, we're going to be reviewing stories from the New Yorker, so we're probably going to come to this conclusion all the time. Like, certainly a capable accomplished writer. Yeah. And so, I mean, then we also read, because in the New Yorker, they do like, you know, little interviews with whatever the writer of whatever story is published where they kind of like break it down.
Right.
And I will say, I did think it was pretty cunt the way that like the interviewer, this woman, Deborah Tressman, she's really is trying to like fish for thematic like touch points. And he's like, oh, I hadn't really thought about that.
Right.
Oh,
which is actually very slay. Like,
I know, very Tessa-pilled.
Right.
And
I do love when, I will say, like, one of my pet peeves is when people try to over-explain a text when, you know, the text should just be speaking for itself.
I know.
So,
and I also
like
find myself, that's like the same way that I write, too. It's like, I'm never really thinking thematically when something...
It sort of subconsciously happens when you're writing, and then it's like, okay, I guess you can make that claim.
Yeah, like, I'll let
afterward.
you do it for me, because I don't want to sound like a total weenie. Like, there's, like, little dignity in, like, trying to explain or, like, trying to...
Right, because it's a losing situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, because if you say, oh, it's actually this piece I think explores themes of like loneliness and whatever. Although, to be fair, he did say that in this interview. But then, you know, some other person could easily just say like, oh, I didn't get that at all. So like, it's almost one of those things where it's like the best answer is just to be like,
no,
I don't know.
Really? You thought that?
What do you think it's about? You know, it's just to deflect, put it back on the other person.
Yeah.
And let the writing, you know, say what it wants to say.
I feel like there's something I wanted to say about this interview, but like I honestly...
I mean, I will say his picture does a lot for me as a David Foster Wallace, like, absolute...
I mean, are you aroused by this man?
Like, a little bit.
And to me, I'm looking at him...
Like, a little bit.
I feel like he is gay.
I think he is gay.
I wonder if I can readily find that on the internet. Like, let's see.
Yeah, look it up.
Zach
I think he's
Williams,
like a Stanford lecturer
writer,
or something.
Gay? Like, maybe
Zach, let us know in the comments.
Oh, Zach Williams. In case you didn't know already, I'm gay. But I don't think this is his Instagram.
So.
Yeah. Oh, it won't let me go on Instagram because my banned Instagram account is the one that's logged onto my Look up Zach Williams, writer, gay. Oh, but writer is not included. So wait, I think this might be the Zach Williams, the musician, is an American Christian rock artist. Wait, is this American Christian rock artist a fag?
Wait, no.
He does not have a personal...
He's in the Stanford Creative Writing.
No, but Google... Did you Google Zach Williams, writer, gay?
Oh,
gay. Yeah.
Gay.
Because I think this is the Instagram of the... I guess what I'm learning to now be a gay... Yeah, in case you didn't know already, I'm gay.
I'm gay.
Happy Pride Month.
I clicked. It's not loading. Well, I'll just look it up on my phone.
I mean, he does sort of have kind of like the nose and kind of like downturned sort of sorrowful eyes of like a gay man.
I mean...
And I will say like every gay man in Milwaukee sort of looks like a variation of this. I mean, me and Lucas... for those of you who don't know me, Lucas is my boyfriend. He lives in Milwaukee. We always do kind of like reflect whenever we're just like out and about.
Think that's him.
No. No, this is...
Oh my god, it's like a full-on...
like sort of Fire Island, sort of like 40...
Long-haired...
I think this might be the Christian musician,
Fabio-esque hair.
Sort of... Is it?
Oh, he's kind of my type, though.
Oh, actor. Well, girl, unfortunately, here's a video of him doing an interpretive dance, it seems. So, we know that one Zach Williams certainly is gay. And Zach Williams, if you are listening to this by any chance, please let us know in the comments.
I feel like he's too David Foster Wallace pilled.
Yes, is this the fiction of a gay man? Like, no.
I feel like he's like a straight descendant of David Foster
Wallace. Do you feel like this is a pertinent, like, emotion that like kind of sensitive straight men have about their marriages? I wonder if he's married. I wonder if this is about his marriage.
Okay, let's look up his Okay, his home. Okay, well, here's his website. You can
Okay,
see.
so it's like, I'm a big gay man.
I'm a gay man. There's actually a pop-up on his website that says, "I'm a gay man. Click to acknowledge."
Yeah, click to acknowledge.
I don't know why my Wi-Fi is being so goddamn.
So
stupid.
he has an MFA from NYU. Oh yeah, we're saying this. Like Zadie Smith is his like. Well, of course she is. Like
So
his,
yeah,
his
definitely
advisor.
David
Which
Foster
there
Wallace.
totally is a pipeline to these sorts of things,
I
which makes me even
know.
cringe out even more that I used to submit stories to New Yorker when I was like 23, 24,
We're gonna
thinking
get
there was.
there though.
We will, and we'll
Oh,
use this
Tessa,
podcast
you're
platform too.
really
I know.
good, like,
It's like, sorry, Zadie Smith was not our advisor, but we can certainly say any writers that like recently died that we could like
Yeah, we
co-opt
should
off of,
lie.
like recently deceased
Joan
authors.
Didion.
We actually were very close
so,
personal mentees of
Sacramento.
Joan Didion.
Right.
Yeah.
Joni. She made us call her. She made us
Diddy,
call her
yeah.
Diddy. Diddy, comma, Joni.
She actually thought it was so funny when we called her Diddy. But like, I don't know.
She wouldn't let us vape.
I wonder. I wonder. Do you think, like, I mean, I'm assuming by the look of him, if he's not gay, he does seem like someone who has a wife. Like he has kind of like a wife.
I feel like he definitely.
I'm like, I don't know. Can you imagine being his wife and reading this and being like,
wait, okay, hold on. His website only has the samples. The Paris Review, New Yorker, McSweeney's.
of course, go fuck
I wish
yourself.
Zadie Smith
Like,
was my advisor. Like, god damn.
Literally,
What the fuck?
his website is just a blank web page with hyperlinks to his
4
illustrious,
pieces,
that are in the top of the top fucking.
I guess if you're gonna debut big,
yeah,
right?
Seriously.
Like, okay, I'm gonna look up. Oh wait, okay, I found Google Books
Asshole.
bio, so maybe we can use a discerning eye to see if he's.
Okay. Zach Williams is a
Where is
bottom.
Where is it? Where is it?
These stories will change you. Jonathan Safran. Who's that? I don't know anything.
These people to fucking blurbs, but oh my god.
Of course,
okay, well,
Eugenides.
Wait, where is
Eugenides, girl?
Yeah, right. The guy who.
We'll.
I gotta find his bio.
In the comments, please tell me which one is the correct publication because I'm too.
Wait,
I can't be arsed to look it up myself.
Yeah, Jeffrey Eugenides. Well, we know who he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't.
I have like 6 of his books and I refuse to open any of them because they're just so big.
Oh, here. Okay, here's his bio on Penguin Random. Of course, it fucking debuts.
Yeah.
God, why is everybody living the life that we want?
It's very unfair, and it's like
he's definitely older than us, but okay,
I feel like a solid 40.
Okay, he's a Jones Lecturer in Fiction at Stanford, where he held the Wallace Stegner Fellowship with
his family in San Francisco.
He's straight. He's married and straight,
lives in San Francisco.
Yeah, because he's usually at Stanford.
I mean, like his family.
That makes sense.
I always forget Stanford's a California one.
Yeah, because he definitely has like a wife and children, lives with his family.
If you were this man's child and you read this story, how would you feel about your parents' marriage?
I actually think I would be incredibly bored. I'm putting myself in the, what are they, Gen Alpha now?
Yeah,
right?
exactly, yeah.
Gen Alpha position. You say, my dad comes home and it's like, whoof, long day at the office. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck down.
My dad's a short story writer.
Right. My dad, why can't you just, like, I don't know, be a member of the fucking Palo Alto Police Department or some shit? It's like, that's probably...
dreams of every child.
Yeah, I guess police department's a bad one. Maybe like fire.
I know. I feel like kids love police departments. My little nephew's obsessed with cops.
Right.
I mean, his dad is a cop. But But Paw Patrol.
Yeah.
A Paw Patrol sleigh. Like, Dad, why can't you just be a member of the fucking Paw Patrol?
Right.
Like, Jesus Christ.
Right. And then if I were to ever read it, which I wouldn't, because it's like, I mean, my dad emails me stuff all the time to read that he didn't write. Just regular stuff, and I never read it. So like, I think I would actually be incredibly bored by that and be like, I actually think I would advise my father if my father was Zach Williams, which is weird since I'm kind of into him.
Yeah.
I think I would advise him to have more scenes with like dick sucking.
Yeah, I think I would say the same thing.
For it. Don't stop holding back.
Like, give us there's clearly some sort of subliminal urge. Right. I mean, I wasn't, like, were you also picking up how he was, like, lingering on how, like, handsome the son was and stuff like that? Like, I really thought this was going to be some sort of, like...
Yeah.
And do I feel disappointed that, like, it wasn't that? Like, not necessarily. I mean, like I said, I still think it was, like, a good story. But Jesus Christ, it's like... I mean, is there any story, to people who are more familiar with the New Yorker canon, like, are there stories about dick sucking? Like there has to be.
There
And I'm
has
sure
to
if it's
be.
done, it's done in the most like sort of HR worker type of,
or so protracted like psychologically that like there's no description. Like I want a dirty description of a ball sack in a New Yorker story.
exactly.
And actually I think I want to be the first, maybe, if there aren't any.
A great goal
However,
to
if
put on
you
your
know
list.
of some,
Yeah.
please link them, because I feel like we could.
And hopefully they'll be
definitely
dead
that.
so we can claim them as
As our
mentors. Yeah.
advisors. You like I once worked with. But no, I was gonna say that like overall, I totally lost it. I had a really good thought regarding
Take
the
a bong
dick
hit
sucking
and maybe,
not. Okay,
yeah.
I'm gonna take a bong hit and then
Maybe it'll come to you.
Maybe it'll come back to me.
Slay!
Wow, that was like, how many times in the last, well, not even my life, but the last couple days have I hit the bong? And that time was the only time on camera, and I both put my finger in the bowl and couldn't get it out.
Everyone's gonna think you're a poser.
I'm a poser. Yeah, I'm a poser who spends like $100 on weed. No, but I'm gonna take one more hit.
Yeah.
Actually.
I also feel like I didn't get drunk enough. I mean, there are some like first podcast jitters.
Yeah.
You know?
It's totally fine. This will become a cult classic. It's stuck. Oh yeah, I know. Isn't it awful?
Yeah.
Oh, here.
Fuck me, dude. If I'm dry even barf.
Anyway.
Jesus Christ.
That was so rough.
That one's for you, Zach.
Mids.
Did this like, I don't know, remind you of anything?
I feel like that's what, let me go back so I can reclaim my thought. What were we talking about right before?
Just dick sucking and like really going there. I mean, me and you are.
My dad was him.
Yeah, I mean, me and you are kind of fixated on this concept of putting like your whole pussy into it.
Right.
That's my personal philosophy for writing and just fiction and reading fiction.
Yeah.
Just like let's whatever like ridiculous fucking thought that you have as the way this story can progress, just throw it there. Like give us a dick sucking sequence. Make this, you know.
Right.
Oh, that was the other thing. And I became really sort of like compelled by this like separate story that was unfolding in my head. Like, oh my God, he's gonna have like sex with this intruder with this like dead woman's corpse like right next to him as his like son's calling, like trying to figure out like whether or not his mom is dead. I was like, oh, I was like, this is cunt. Like, damn, like this is really, really cunt. But no, it's, you know, the sort of like appropriate Nicole Kidman type emotions that one can expect in a publication like The New Yorker.
Let's take that thought though for just a brief second, and maybe this is motivated by the fact that I think Zach Williams is sexy, but let's say that like that's kind of purposeful, like, which, and again, in the spirit of not having one pulled over our eyes by goddamn New Yorker, let's say that that's like purposeful. What does that do to the story? Because I think that's actually really kind of interesting. It's like this guy, I think it actually kind of fits that this guy who's just a cuck, like that
he's
is
like
his entire
repressed
self,
gay, can't is
like he's seeing this like sexuality where it doesn't necessarily exist, like in these weird like psychologically protracted ways. Like he like because there's that very kind of bizarre passage when he sees her about her bathrobe, right, being like kind of opened.
Wait,
do you remember this?
I completely missed this.
Hold on, let me, because I accidentally, I clicked to the interview and now I have to reinstall the proxy to not pay for this. But I do actually think like that's kind of interesting, because then it really much is about the sex and not about even his wife. Because like it is kind of like homoerotic, and like, do I think this guy's necessarily like gay? Like, no, not the author or like the narrator, but like if he's like noticing like the like kind of sexual undertones of this son, and like same thing kind of with the dead body. I mean, then he's like,
and it's also like a whole thing of like these superior males as well, because he seems very like, sort of wimpish and sort of like
which is super interesting. Also, if we think about like he's got his wife. There's like the weird cuck energy, the son, and then a dead woman. It's like two like male, female living people, and then like this dead body, and he's like still like sort of in this weird like sexually like
like all tied up in that. And I guess that is kind of another interesting unintentional. I feel like there are some unintentional like interesting kind of exclusions of perspective. Like Yeah, this whole like right away once this like intruder thing happens, like immediately like the dead body is sort of like the last of anybody's concerns, like the narrator and his psyche, and also like to the narrative, like to us the reader, like like the fact that there's a dead body there doesn't really necessarily matter as much as like this weird like thing.
Right.
And then the other thing I was gonna say is like we learned this about the wife in the beginning, that she's cheated on him and they have a trouble of like being vulnerable with each other, and she's like always kind of praying every night.
Right.
I feel like she's like gone completely. I mean, like I feel like I'm putting on my Lena Dunham like misogyny alert like sirens. And I really have nothing substantial to say about that. I was hoping maybe you had something substantial. But like I guess who cares about women in the end, especially in such a homoerotic story.
Right.
A homoerotic imagination.
Well, I think it's like more of a question of, if this is a first person story, like why is this guy married to this woman?
Yeah.
He doesn't care about her. The fact that he does, it's like more of a, if this is in first person and like he's very much like spent time curating his story to present it to me, it's like, why is he ignoring his wife?
Like this whole, yeah.
Right. So it's like, to me, I don't think it really has much to do with her at all.
And I mean, like,
so
I don't know.
Okay, it's like it flies for me because it seems in character for him to be like, don't pay attention to my wife. She's probably wrong.
Yeah, like whatever. Yeah, like who
stupid.
kind of gives a fuck anyways. And so cognitively, do you think that we can transpose that on top of the real person, Zach Williams? Would you say Zach Williams cares about his wife? Do you think he's kind of, and I mean, all this goes into like, yeah, he's like so kind of hyper fixated on all the like big brawny men in this story. Like, I don't know, maybe you're just like a queen girl.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. That actually,
This would have been great if the story was like a Sniffies cruising, like, and he was starting to use his like dead like old woman neighbor's house as a way that he could like have anonymous hookups off of Sniffies.
Right.
I'm gonna read that story. Zachy, would you mind if I, maybe I'll credit you at the beginning, be like, based off the work of Zach Williams. Do we see it for Zach Williams in terms of his career panning out as a career, generationally definitive writer of short fiction? I mean, like, I'm sure he's going to be, he got published in the fucking New Yorker. He's going to be fine,
He's going to be
5 books off of this.
I mean, this new book, it's not even out yet. So it feels actually almost too curated. Like that they published him in March and his collection's coming out, in a couple months?
Yeah.
To, like, hype him. Like, that feels like sort of a
like we've got a campaign brewing.
Tells me he has friends in all the right fucking places. So do I think he's gonna like be big? Yeah, totally. Do I think he like has necessarily perspective? Like, I'll wait and see, I guess, because
I mean, like, I guess
this does it offer anything new or scintillating in that kind of way? No, I don't think so. Like, I'm trying to think of the last piece that like did that for me. Like, was like, oh, that kind of like, ugh feeling where you're like.
I remember Emma Klein, this was years ago already, put out a short story like in anticipation of her short story collection a few years ago.
Yeah.
And it was all about like a Wim Hof breathing bro. And I remember that was the last time I read a New Yorker short story where I was like, fuck, like,
that's great.
This is cunt. I feel like, and I, sometimes I put on the podcast in the car where they have the writer read the story.
Right.
And so like, I don't know, I feel like whenever I've put it on in the past like 2 years or so, it's always just some like long nostalgic like Elena Ferrante type like 1970s nostalgia piece by like some man or a woman.
Right. Yeah, I
and so like
yeah,
it's like I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know where I was going with that.
I
but,
think I was gonna say I think the one that I read recently, and I actually read it like 10 years ago and then I forgot all about it, is Ottessa Moshfegh's Bettering Myself, where it's about this high school teacher at a Catholic school, a math teacher, who is just drunk the entire fucking time.
Slut, yeah.
And it's one that ends with her getting, I think it's the one that ends with her getting a giant Diet Coke and just like, walking around and like sipping this giant Diet. I was like, oh, it's just like.
And I guess, I was just going to say, and I guess that's kind of what I was trying to say about, like, the other, like, New Yorker stories I've listened to. Like, yeah, it's like, this stuff doesn't, what we were saying, like, exactly, like, leave an impression, you know? It's like
an enjoyable.
Yeah, it's, like, tasteful.
Few minutes.
Yeah, exactly. And then you take a hit of your vape and you move on.
Exactly. Yeah. So.
Like, no one's going to be making a mood board,
This is, I think that's actually such a good way to put it, is, like, and I think that's what, probably both of us kind of aspire with our own.
Yeah, it's
like,
mood board fiction.
It's something mood board. And that could it could run the gamut of, like, really profound to
Yeah,
like
exactly. You know.
incredibly bizarre, but like, you know, at least it's mood board no
Yeah,
matter what.
exactly. At least there's
Wherever,
something. You know,
once it
a
lands.
16-year-old girl saw it and felt compelled enough to make a Pinterest board. Like that's yeah.
Right, because otherwise to me it's kind of like what the point?
Yeah,
What
like
or what is the point, I guess.
I agree. Okay, so you know, any other thoughts?
Um no, I mean I'm really curious to know if Zach's gay. Or if he's
So if
interested.
you do at some point come across this, like I don't know, you can send a DM.
Yeah, we're available.
And I mean, I don't know what should the ranking scale be to establish as our running
Yeah.
ranking scale for these? Should we just do stars out of 5?
Yeah.
Or should we do like a tier, like S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, F tier? How
I feel
people
like
do it,
that's
like tier
like
lists.
cognitively more
Yeah.
difficult for me.
Yeah. So I mean, I would give this like I would give it 4 stars.
I would give it 4 stars too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like I think that's a
great.
beautiful way to start our podcast, like an encouraging
Exactly.
4 stars, and you know, sort of,
Yeah.
you know, a light endorsement with
Right.
you know embellishment of homoerotic imagination. Like,
Exactly.
yeah, let's
Yeah,
suck
granted
some
that,
dick. Yeah.
Yeah, that concession. Which
And I mean,
should
anything
be.
else you want to say?
No, I think this has been great.
Yeah, I think we definitely started getting someplace.
Great. This
So
was
thank you
fun.
so much for listening to episode 1 of the Slay House review. We'll be
Woo!
back next week, probably.
Yeah.
And stay with us. Leave a comment, like, share. I mean, who knows when this one's gonna go up on like an Apple podcast or something like that? But I'll make a YouTube community post to designate when that happens. And when that does happen, go there. I mean, podcasters always say to leave a review. You know, give us 5 stars, and I don't know,
Yeah.
girl, like.
Tell us.
Do what you gotta do.
We're
We love
ready.
you. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Slay.
And cut.
Watch it like stop recording. Oh no. Perfect.